What's up guys? Today on the channel, MJX RC Bugs 12 with GPS, 4K video, under $200. Let's go ahead and jump right into looking at what's in the box, and we'll do a flight test after that. Here we go.
Has to be one of the best values out there right now at $175. You get 4K 3840 electronic stabilized video, 50x digital zoom, ground sensors, GPS maps, all kinds of modes, 5G Wi-Fi video on here, making it a lot more reliable. We have folding props on here on this little foldable drone and a stabilized tiltable camera as well. You get 2204 1500 kV brushless motors, and we're rocking some 5G video on here, so it's definitely more reliable than the last MJX series. And we have Mavic like stance on here, giving that low profile look, which is cool. And on this little quad, we're running a 2.4 gigahertz radio, which is very reliable as well. Auto takeoff land button, photo video button, motor unlock button on the left, and on the right we have a phone holder, high-low speed mode, LEDs on and off, a gimbal wheel, return to home button, and a GPS button there for turning the GPS on and off. 2 AA batteries. Left stick is yaw and throttle. On the right stick we got forwards, backwards, and side to side. That's pitch and roll as well. And we have a 22-minute flight battery, which is USB-C chargeable in around a little under 4 hours. It is a 2S 3400 milliamp battery, and I'm happy to say that it does have LEDs on here. If you press and hold, it'll show you the current charge in the battery, which is kind of cool. It also supports a class 10 SD card up to 128 gigabytes on this little guy, and plenty of venting on the bottom of the drone, optical flow, and LEDs that turn on and off from the controller, which is cool. And this little guy flies up to 40 kilometers, which is about 20.8 miles per hour for you US guys. And it looks pretty compact. So let's go ahead and get the little B12 up in the air, guys. Okay, my friends, let's see what kind of adventures we can find with the B12. For 175 bucks, I have to say, my first impression was good. When I got home and finally looked at the video, I'm like, this is pretty good for 175 4K video. It has electronic stabilization, and I'm impressed. So as far as a beginner drone goes, you can start out here before you move into the DJI realm of things. If you're gonna buy a Mavic Mini 2, the new one that just came out, man, learn the ropes first with something from MJX RC, whether it's even the B20 or this one. I think the B12 has a little bit better video. I like the format of the old school looking B20 with the sort of landing gear on the bottom and the underslung gimbal, but this thing is super compact and the video looks great. Now the modes, they're kind of subpar. I think that first the follow me mode didn't work right there, so I had to try again, and finally it locked onto the phone. And this is one of those drones that locks onto the signal coming from the phone. So this is the connection to the drone to the 5G Wi-Fi. Now it's struggling to keep up with me when I move quickly like this, but if you're going in a straight line, it will track you pretty well in a straight line. So when I'm running backwards like this, it does the best. But when I change direction, it has a hard time keeping up. There's a little bit of a lag between the device and the camera and the drone itself. So I wouldn't say it's the best follow me in the world. It's a little bit herky-jerky as well, but it does work. So I can't beat it up too much on the modes, but I think mostly what this drone is for is just really nice straight ahead flying. It looks fantastic. The 3800 4K video with stabilization worked great, and I used a class 10 16 gigabyte card on this one. I didn't try to go too high because sometimes when I bring out like a 128, I come home with no video for some reason. So you can also probably safely record video to a 64 gigabyte card, but make sure that you format it before you take off. That's going to be my biggest tip to you with the B12 series. Format the card inside the app, and then once you do that, you should get home with a video folder on the SD card that says Wi-Fi video. And now we can spy on people down there. Pretty much do anything you want with this drone. Full stabilization, GPS position hold works pretty good. And again, it's a little bit jerky from time to time on the position changes, because I commented on this particular transmitter in my B20 review, is that the sticks feel a little bit toy-like. So changing directions sometimes with these sticks is a little bit kind of robotic, a little bit maybe awkward. But again, though, if you're looking for those straight ahead shots, that's where you're going to find that this quad does the best. And in a way, it kind of turns like an airplane sometimes. When I use the yaw stick on the left, it kind of like, it doesn't stabilize the video in that turn because it's not a 3-axis gimbal. If it was a 3-axis gimbal, it would, but since this one is just kind of hard mounted and it has some dampening there, and it'll go up and down, but you'll see those turns. But here's some straight down video, and that also looks great. I could even go down and probably find some fish in those little irrigation streams through there for these farms. Pretty nice looking color though. On a nice sunny day, you'd get fantastic video with this drone. But again, there's like leveling out. That's what the quad does when you level out. And there's some light shift adjustment with this particular sensor. It is a 1/3 sensor, and it seems to do really great in position hold. I mean, that's actually a really nice picture. That's a stationary shot from this drone. So I could compare that to other drones out there like the Hubsan or the Fimi. I'm sure that those look a little bit better, but I mean, for $175, you're not dropping into the $500 range with this one. So that's kind of acceptable for guys on a budget, in my opinion. And then back shooting into the sun right here, you can see just it's blown out a little bit. And right here, it went into RTL. So if you lose video and you're, say, 300 yards out, what I got was around 300 meters before it would lose video on my phone. And if that happens to you, don't worry, don't push the sticks around a lot. All you have to do is press that return to home button, and this quad, even with that connection loss, it'll come back. So it'll start to come back. Just because you lost video doesn't mean you lost transmitter signal. Now, one other time when it happened to me too as well, this is great information for you. If you know how to fly line of sight first, you can kind of see the quad out in the distance, and you push the stick one way and it moves one way, push it another, it moves another, and eventually you're going to see that the drone's coming back to you. So once you have it coming back to you, you might regain video, not even have to worry about the RTL or the return to home button. But keep that in mind that when you're flying out there, if you do lose video, you got a couple different options. You can self-rescue, or you can push that return to home button. It will still work when you don't have video. So that's really, really great news for people that have this drone. If you have that freak out moment like, oh God. And then there's a third way you can get it to return to home that I'm going to show you coming up in the end of this review. It's a low battery return to home. So very nice. Coming down back to the home point now. And this was interesting. It does have optical flow, and the B20, when it came down, it actually stopped for a moment, like you see this one do. And this is probably about 10 to 12 feet up, and it starts coming back down. Now, you can raise the throttle at this point if you don't want to hit a curb, but I don't want to hit a curb because I don't want to bust out my props or possibly break the arm on this drone. And it wants to come down again anyway. Oh no, God, not right there. Please no. Please no, drone. Get back up. Very, very naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty little drone. Naughty. So watch out for curbs. They can break things, but luckily I didn't break anything, and I was able to just go ahead and fly the tail end of this battery. And the video looks particularly odd right here. It looks a little bit blue and kind of washed out and blown out. And I'm not putting any kind of filters on this, you guys, so that you guys can see what this video looks like off the SD card. So no filters or anything like that. And again, it has some troubles with some light to dark transitions, and every once in a while it'll kind of average out. And right there, finally, when it averaged out was when my low battery return to home kicked in. So here we go backwards toward the home point. But what's interesting is I figured out that I can use the yaw stick and I can turn it around, and I'm still recording. And what's nice is that you can turn or zoom or go up and down with the gimbal. You still have control of the drone when it's coming back. It's very interesting. And there's that satellite shot again, the home point. And in this case, it came back and it just kind of stopped and hovered over the home point, so it wasn't finishing its landing. So one thing to maybe consider in your return to home on the low battery is that it might come back and just chill. So don't let it chill too long, because it could fall out of the air and drop to the pavement, and we don't want that. There was a little bit of a glitch right there in the video. But that's a pretty fantastic image, again, for a $175 drone. I think that's a great deal. So I think that MJX RC probably has one of the best drones they've ever made with the B12 series and the electronic stabilization. They're finally to the point where if they can get this light adjustment thing worked out, and some of the light dark contrast with the ground and the sky, I think once they get that figured out, maybe include a lens filter in the kit, that would probably be one of the best values out there on the internet. But thanks for watching my honest reviews, guys. Be sure to subscribe on the channel. I'm going to go ahead and set this one down. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'm Justin Davis. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.